Welcome to Season 5 of Pants Around Ankles Prevention, where my mission is to help you keep your pants securely buckled and avoid that unexpected, awkward, and embarrassing moment when you realize suddenly that they're not. This season, we're going to do things a little differently with shorts around ankles prevention. Quick, power-packed episodes designed to deliver a punch of truth to help you wake up to a new perspective. Let's see what today's short has in store. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is for me uncomfortable. My guess is it is for you too. Solitude. I'm starting a draft of this in July of 2025. I'm on what has become my annual summer trip to Boulder, Colorado for an extended stay. When this started 4 years ago, the purpose of the trip was A, to spend time with my spiritual teacher, B, ride my bike in the mountains every day, and C, work on learning to cook. It's been explained to me that I do not cook, but I heat things. But there's another feature of these trips of great value that I have come to appreciate. When here, I am mostly alone. My wonderful wife of 49 years is not interested in joining me for A or B, and she doesn't have any interest in watching me cook. So I've always traveled a lot for my work, and for me to be gone several weeks at a time is nothing unusual or difficult for her to manage. And some have said, only slightly in jest, that it's easier for her when I'm not around. Nevertheless, when I'm here in Boulder, I have minimal contact with other humans that I know. I've got no TV and few other distractions. I am alone by myself. I have solitude, and it is uncomfortable. Although I'm naturally an introvert and need time by myself, I'm still a human being, and human beings are social beings. Being here deprives me of enough social interaction that I notice it, and it is uncomfortable. For most of the day, the only thing I have to keep me company is my thoughts. I have little to distract me from them. And it seems I do wish to be distracted from them. They tend to be messy. And also, while I'm here, I also try not to work. Work seems to be a very easy way to focus my attention and my thoughts, to avoid those uncomfortable feelings of messy mind. All that said, I need to remember that I'm not my thoughts. Thoughts appear in the mind, but they're not me unless I allow myself to identify with them, which is very easy to do. And indeed, judging by my interactions with virtually everyone, it's something all of us do all the time. Not identifying with that noise is easier said than done, especially if you don't realize that those thoughts you're having are really not yours unless you make them yours, and you're simply being reactive to everything that appears. Because solitude is uncomfortable, most of us go to great lengths to avoid it. We distract ourselves with TV, alcohol, endless internet surfing, and work to provide us with relief. There are still way too many weekends when I'm in the office working, more as a distraction than out of some pressing need or deadline. Being alone and experiencing solitude intentionally gives you a chance to start making the needed distinctions and differentiations. And there's a payoff. Being or feeling alone can happen in career change, retirement, relocation, divorce, illness, grief, and even with success. Many successful business people feel alone. There's this saying I've heard that it's lonely at the top. So it really can't be avoided. And my annual experiments with solitude are making a difference. I'm noticeably more comfortable with being alone and doing nothing than I was when this started 4 years ago. But when you are doing nothing, exactly what does that look like for you? Because even if you're doing nothing other than just sitting, there's still something that you are doing. The thing is, you can sit and be still, or you can sit and fidget. You can sit and allow your mind to quiet down, or you can allow it to drive you crazy. Therefore, it's how you approach this non-doing and the solitude that influences how you experience it. The other day I took a photo when I was sitting in the middle of a mountain stream at a park outside Boulder. I like to go there and sit and do nothing. The water, by the way, was cold. But I was in the middle of nature. I was in the mountains and near the water, and there was a lot of noise, so it was hardly quiet. But that noise of the stream largely fades out of awareness after a while. At home in warmer months, I've discovered that sitting on our front porch is very enriching. Even if my wife is on the other side of the wall, 10 feet away, I have solitude. I watch the birds fly to the feeders, I watch the clouds move, and I often use the porch as a place to meditate. I have a good friend who likes to sit on a chair at the end of his dock. He's also engaging in solitude. Earlier this year, when sailing in the BVIs, we would get up in the morning, and before the boat would come alive, some of us would kind of fan out on the boat and sit quietly and read or just sit. We didn't sit together, we tended to sit separately. We were practicing solitude. A ritual on that boat is that at dinner, everyone shares what they consider to be the best part of their day. And you know what? Sitting quietly watching the sunrise was a surprisingly frequent answer. We were being nurtured in solitude. Now, all of these examples are things I suspect that many can also relate to. The difference I experience in Boulder is that the solitude is for more extended periods of time. I'd love to be able to say I've mastered solitude, but I have not. I am still learning not to run from it. I'm learning to sit, even when it's uncomfortable, and maybe that's enough. So here's my question. When was the last time you truly allowed yourself to be alone? Not lonely, not distracted, but just alone. I'm not suggesting weeks in the mountains like I do. I'm suggesting 10 minutes with no phone, no agenda, no plan. Try it. Notice how it feels. That discomfort that you feel, that's a doorway to waking up. If you'd like a deeper dive into this topic, consider subscribing to our newsletter, Waking Up, where we will explore it in even more detail. And if you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. See you soon.